If it wasn't proper schooling, it wouldn't be legal. Is the most important year. And if we could get over it and stop being dramatic, I would. It wasn't damaging my mental health. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a little Q&A about online school, basically just mental health, specifically anxiety and emetophobia. Recently, I've been getting quite a few private DMs asking me questions, just a few more throughout my TikTok comments, and I thought it'd be easier instead of keep posting TikTok videos and saving you trying to scroll and find them. I'll just do one big YouTube video answering all your guys' most asked questions, because not many people know about online school. People tend to get homeschool and online school like mixed up. They think it's the same thing. It's definitely two different things. So let's get on. Okay, so the first thing that I am gonna answer is, what is the difference between homeschooling and online schooling? So homeschool is when you learn from home. You don't I don't know how to describe it. Basically, you don't learn online. I don't really know the ins and outs of homeschooling because it is quite different to online school. All I know though is with homeschool, either your parent can teach you, an online teacher can teach you, like a tutor or something like that, or don't think you're able to teach yourself though. I'm not too sure with that. But online school is where you basically do everything you do in a public school, just online. So you're in a classroom, you're with teachers. That's kind of the difference, okay, between the two. So the next question is, what is emetophobia? I did do a little short reply in the comments, but I'll expand on it. So emetophobia is an intense fear of sick, but it's not just a fear. It can actually affect people's lives as shown, as it does mine. That's why it's a phobia and not a fear, because people again kind of get it confused. The difference between a fear and a phobia is a fear, it's just kind of like, oh, you know, you see sick, gross, you don't want to look at it, but if it happens, it happens. Whereas if you were to have a phobia of sick, you'll panic, it will stop you from going out because you're scared of seeing it. That stops people eating chicken meat, makes people go vegetarian. It can really affect whatever in your aspect of life, because that's what happened with me. Mine kind of turned from a fear into a phobia. I used to say this all the time. I would be like, I don't like sick, so I'll never be sick because I don't like it. That's when I had fear, because I just didn't like it, but it didn't stop me from doing anything until it turned into a phobia of where I was like, oh my god, I'm so scared right now. That's the difference between a fear and a phobia. And if we could get over it and stop being dramatic, I would. The next question is, how do I convince my parents to let me go into online school? So I get this question quite a lot, and it's probably the most tricky question to answer. There sadly is no exact way to convince your parent, and the only advice I can give is off my experience. And I didn't have to exactly convince my parents. They kind of just saw how difficult and bad I was getting, because I started to get really bad in year 9, and every day before school, me and my mum, we would sit in the school car park and we would just go back and forth, back and forth. She'd be like, Lola, going to school? I'd be no. So it's just like, you know, and we just started to think we can't keep doing that for 3 more years, you know, because obviously year 11 is the most important year, GCSES and all that. I would joke throughout that time, being like, why can't I just be homeschooled? Why can't I just be homeschooled? Because at the time, I honestly didn't know the difference between online school and homeschool. But anyway, I never thought in a million years I'd be able to do my schoolwork but stay at home. Like, I never thought that. I always thought for the rest of my secondary school experience, I would have to be going into school. And the reason why they were quite hesitant to let me do online school is because they didn't actually know enough about it. What helped though, I would say, is as soon as they actually got recommended an online school, which is mine, which I'll put on the screen, and they read about it, they read info, they asked questions about it, they were actually on board for the idea because they were both wanting to make sure obviously I got my education, but you know, I wasn't damaging my mental health while doing that process. Because also another factor is they saw that I wasn't hanging out with my friends, I wasn't going out, I was just staying at home. So that was kind of how I convinced my parents. I know, and this is why it's such a difficult question, because I know not every parent will agree with online school. You know, it's not, I don't want to say it's not accepted, but people definitely think it's not proper school, which is not true. Online school follows the same curriculum. What I'm learning right now, my friends are learning in their lessons as well. But yeah, online school and homeschooling is proper school. If it wasn't proper schooling, it wouldn't be legal. So let me clear that out. Now on to the next question. Next question, how much per year for English, science and maths is it? So first I just want to clear, with online school you only have to do English, maths and science. They do give you options. I'll put the other subjects you can do on the screen, but you don't have to do those if you don't want to. The more subjects you do, the more you pay. So for all three, so for English, maths and science, the parents pay £155 a month. So if we were to do 155 times 12, that is £1,860. So that's how much we pay a year. I think I've only done online school for 1 year. See, that is quite a bit of money, but the online school I go to is actually one of the cheaper ones. I don't know, okay, I don't know, so don't take my word for this. There are a few free ones. I don't know how good they are, but yeah, so that's how much we pay for my online schooling. Next question, on the call, do you have to talk a lot? I'm also going to intertwine that question with how did you make friends? Let's go with the first question. You don't actually have to talk on online school. Actually, no one talks on online school except the teacher. There have been a few times where the teacher is like, does anyone want to read out this paragraph? And a few people have. A few people have turned their mics on to ask questions if they can't type it into Word. But other than that, you don't have to speak, you don't have to show your face, just have to type in the chat. If you're uncomfortable putting your answer in the public chat, you can private message the teacher. Teachers usually from time to time do polls. They'll be like, are you understanding this? Yes or no. If you put no, they probably will want you to expand on that. They're not going to call out your name. They're not going to be like, why did Lola put no? Like, Lola, please explain why you don't get it. They're not going to call you out. Yeah, they keep it very private, okay? So they're not gonna call you out. The second part of the question, how did I make friends? I had friends prior to online school because I have actually been in mainstream school since 4. I think you start school at 4, all the way up until 6 months into year 10. If you're starting online school from year 7, or you're joining in the middle of the year, or whenever you're joining, you will make friends. Very sociable. People have conversations not about schoolwork. We have breaks at the start of the lesson and in the middle of the lesson where they'll put a song on, talk. The next question is, what time do you start and finish school? So this is the confusing thing, is because my online school is accessible to everyone around the world. Different time zones really, but in the UK, school day is 11 till 4. I'll just explain my timetable. So on Mondays, my lessons are at 11, 1 and 3. On Tuesdays, my lessons are at 11. I only have 1 on Tuesday. On Wednesday, they are 11, 12 and 3. On Thursdays, my lessons start at 12 and I only have 1 on Thursday, and then I don't have any on Friday. Start at 11, end at 4. But if your school day will finish at 4 because your last lesson will be at 3. So yeah, I hope that wasn't too confusing. I don't think any lessons start any earlier than 11. And then the next question is, what are the terms like? Is it only 3 terms or do they also have half terms? The terms are a bit kind of difficult because as it's mostly UK based, they do try and follow those terms, school terms. Yeah, they do half terms. But there's not really a set schedule. My Christmas term, winter term, we broke up the 15th and went back on the 8th. So I have friends from public school and private school. I follow both. Sometimes they break up before me, sometimes I break up before them, sometimes I go back to school before them, so it's kind of like different. So yeah, but they do tell you, they do make sure you know it is half term, and you'll know anyway if you go onto the school website. You'll have no lessons. That's the best I can answer. The next question is, when GCSE exams start, will you be doing them at home or be going somewhere to do them? Online school students and homeschool students don't actually have to do their GCSEs. I am going to be doing my GCSEs. You can't do them at home, no matter if you're online school, homeschooled, public school. You can't do them at home. You will have to go to a test centre. My online school has a few plotted around the UK, but I am actually going somewhere. I am going to my old school to do my English and maths GCSE. I do have to go somewhere else to do my science GCSE, so we still have to figure out what we're going to do for my science. You do have to pay for your GCSEs if you are homeschooled or online school, because obviously you're not enrolled at a school for them to pay to do your GCSEs. So going back to my old school, yay, so excited. GCSEs. Okay, so the next question is, I can barely leave the house anymore. Is there anything you suggest? What helps? See, this is also a difficult question because everyone is different. Everything works differently. Some people are good with techniques, some people aren't. It is a very difficult thing, and you've got to find out what's comfortable for you. My advice would be getting rid of the main stress contender. Is that the right word? Basically, get rid of what is stressing you out the most. For me, it was school, and that definitely helped me subside on the stress. I was obviously struggling to go out myself. I wouldn't meet up with friends. I wouldn't even... definitely to get you back into the momentum of going back out, just start with little things like walks or going to the shop. If you're struggling to get ready, I literally went out of the house with like a bit of mascara on because I couldn't be asked to do makeup, my hair in a ponytail, and put on some joggers and leave, you know. I feel like some people really do class anxiety as lazy, and they hear some of the stuff and they're like, ooh. Don't have an opinion if you haven't been there before. Just going out in your garden for a bit helped me get back out there. As for friends, I can't guarantee anything, but honestly I just had to keep pushing myself. My parents were like, oh, do you think it'd be easy if they came to your house instead because you're in your house in a comfortable environment? But I actually found it easier going to my friends' houses because I knew I could leave whenever. Just start off by going to their house or them come to your house for 30 minutes, an hour. I used to get my mom and dad to stay outside of the house for a bit, for a few minutes, so I had more control of when I left. That's another thing, definitely tell your friends. You don't have to tell them the ins and outs because I know some people don't like to speak about it, but just making them aware that you may only be there for like a minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Like if you let your friends in, they should and if they're not, find some better friends. My friends were honestly so supportive. They knew I may not be there for an hour, you know. They knew I may only be there for 10 minutes, you know. Honestly, that made me feel so more relaxed, that I knew that I didn't have this expectation, because it's in my brain I was like, yeah, but friends usually meet up for hours, like blah blah blah. So not having that expectation that I have to be there for hours helped me so much. I also found it easier when I knew it was a set time. Me and my friends have a cafe that we love and we always go there, and I found it easier to actually spend time with them going to that place because I knew we would only be there for like a set time. Get there, talk, order food, have food, talk a bit more, then leave. And same with going to the house. I knew I felt more comfortable knowing that there was a set time when they were coming to my house. 12 to 12:30 or 12 to 1 made me feel a bit more in control. This could just help anyone, but I definitely think if you're struggling with emetophobia, feeling the nausea 24/7, taking water, a bottle of water with you, crisps, blue tack, water. I actually threw out I still have a packet of crisps by my bed, by the side of my bed, every single night. This is my handy dandy blue tack I've actually gotten better with it, not taking it everywhere, but having this and just playing with it 100% helps with me anyway. I know some schools don't allow fidgets like that, so I definitely think blue tack is a bit more seamless because it's kind of like a stationary item. I did actually though have to let my teachers know though before the lesson. I was like, if you see me fidgeting with blue tack, trust me, I am paying attention, it's just a fidget, you know. Telling myself that if I need to go to the toilet, I can. If I need to go outside for a breather, I can. I think definitely having a close relationship with my friends helped so much, because me and my friends, there's no TMI in our friendship. Having a good support system. I used to be one of those people that were like, oh yeah, but like, yeah, like that doesn't really help though. Now that I'm getting a bit better, realizing I had that good support system around me has helped me so much. I didn't have that in school. I didn't have a good support system. I mean, I'm not bashing them. They tried everything, but it just wasn't what I needed. But knowing that my parents were there, my friends were there, and if you don't have that kind of support system, I'm always here. If you're in an anxious situation, just chat, or if you just want to talk about it, DMs are always open. And also sometimes having a stranger listening, this is why I prefer talking therapy, because you can just talk to the person. Techniques do not help me where I just talk to my therapist, because it's good to just talk to someone who, when sometimes people don't know your like social crowd, you know, and don't know who these people are, it can help. The question is, how do you keep organized with all the content you need to learn? People worrying about having to catch up. When I was going through the process of going from school to online school, I did miss quite a lot of school. And all I can say with my online school is, do not worry about getting caught up. They will make sure that you are all caught up. You can rewatch lessons, you can do revision sessions from time to time. So, and then the next thing is, how do I keep motivated? I always turned off my TV. Sometimes I have to do that with my phone. I just have to turn off my phone completely. But getting ready, it sounds like such simple things, and trust me, I used to be one of those people that was like when my mom and dad are just like, oh, you should get ready, it'll make you feel so much better. I'm like, yeah, but whatever. Like, but it actually does. But yeah, even if though it's just having a shower, clean pajamas, and get back into bed, you've still done something. Even if you just get out of bed and brush your teeth, going on walks definitely does help, and it definitely gets back your, I think it's stamina. Being productive really does help. And then the next question is, are there any websites you think are useful? For maths, I would definitely say Maths Genie. They do like grade 1 to grade 9. For English, definitely the books, the revision books, Romeo and Juliet, the Macbeth one, definitely. And again for science, the revision book, like this one, revision card, a whiteboard, definitely get a whiteboard. Me and all my friends have one and we love them. This app called Study Bunny, and what you do is you set a timer and revise for however long, and then you get like points. That is all the questions I have for you guys today. Hope I answered them okay and I was able to give you a good advice. If you have any more questions, let me know down below on YouTube, or you can go ahead and ask on TikTok. My DMs are always open if you want to ask a question privately. And yeah, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching, and make sure to take care of yourselves, and bye.